Briggz in real life. We are here for another academic battle. Team Bizzo versus Team Koji. One I am personally excited for, introducing his battler, the champion.
Please make some noise representing Team Bizzo, Coopar.
And introducing his battler, not the champion.
Representing Team Koji, hailing from Peterborough, make some noise for Ghast Buff!
This is 90 seconds, 3 rounds. Coopar won the coin toss and he voted Ghast Buff to go first. Let's go.
Let's go, Ghast.
It's Coopar! Hey! Last year's runner-up! Because he fucked it up. Can't imagine why. For those who weren't at Brixton Jam that night, let's take a trip back in time to that tragic sight. Choked the whole third. So the Academy winner was Grazza, right? Well, yeah. Watch as I expose the massive lie. See, before that clash went live, me and him were chatting shite about how this year's Academy actually has a prize. It might sound absurd, we know you struggle with consistency, but that day you were Amber Heard. You shit the bed deliberately! Tell him! That choke was part of his strategy. I mean, it had to be. Don't you laugh at me. What would you choose? Debut on the international scene, no hotel or travel fee? Or the mid-card of Undisclosed, questioning the piss strength of Max Sherry? And you'd have gotten away with it too if you weren't picked for the champions team. Well, now you have to battle me. Fuck all a Team Bizzo. Just a ragtag bunk of enemies tethered to beggy pretenders, but we'll definitely treasure these friendships forever. We're the stars of tomorrow. At best, you're all extras. Think you're the one? Well, I'm a well-oiled machine breaching the hull of the Nebuchadnezzar. I have evolved. There's promise in this novice. You better get it together. I joined with no bars in the pad, and I'm leaving with red in my ledger. Hey. Look at these guns. Thanks to Koji, I can deadlift this heifer. Every punch is tailored to level a pegger. See, this is your fault. You're one of the ones who told me to give rap a go, and there's only one end to this scenario. I have come for the spotlight, and you've already had it, bro. I'm using Cooper's head as a springboard to the next level, and it's a me, Mario!
So if I could take a minute, man. James, I like you. I consider you a friend. Last week we made dinner plans. You were the first person to ever recognize me as Coopar. James, you are my biggest fan. And I appreciate all the love and support that you give me, man. But with that being said, who's my missus got a peg to get this motherfucker's Twitter banned? You're such a beggy little sycophant. The kid at school who used to smell of eggs and shit his pants. I'm here to give this squarehead work like Mr. Krabs. That's the level, that's the level. Why should I bother trying to make sure the rhymes land? Or even sit back and write angles when my man's head is literally made up of right angles. And I realised it last week. I was standing adjacent to you. You look like Severus Snape rendered on the PlayStation 2. You've got the energy of a dog with abandonment issues. I don't know whether to try and adopt you or stand here and diss you. So you do all right in your tryout. You're not shit. Congratulations. Now you're over Twitter with this desperate need for validation. Where does it come from? Were you bullied at school? Okay, how badly were you bullied at school? Because I had it too. Let me share a story if I may. It was post-PE, and unbeknownst to me, my zipper flies down, and the buttons on my boxer just come loose. It was slip and slide out. I walked across school, over to my friendship group, for one of the girls to look down and scream, "Oh my God, Ryan, I can see your willy right now." So how do you expect to diss me, or even spit a fire round when my nickname at school for 4 weeks was Little White Mouse? Time.
What's that, Ryan? You did some boxing for charity? How wonderful! To paraphrase Rivers, most of the round, get comfortable. Yeah. See, he did some white-collar boxing. It went as well as expected. It was sad and pathetic. In the ring with a pro and you weren't matching the effort. You must get battered by your missus when you have a domestic. See, if this turns into a spat and gets hectic, I know if he throws hands he'll regret it. I don't need to block your jab to deflect it. I've got a jaw so square it's like my dad was a Tetris. You all should have been there. With every blow the geek's head spins. Like watching Barry McGuigan fight the ghost of Keith Chegwin. Baylor gave him the old 1-2 and then a 3 to the jaw, but he took it like a champ. Not even his knee hit the floor. Whole bloodthirsty crowd is screaming for more, and being front row was a treat, that's for sure. You got your shit pushed in.
Tell it.
Tell it again. You got your shit pushed in. By your girlfriend the weekend. Peggy bars. Daddy Jack would have thrown more punches with his fucked hand. What was your cardio? A daily mukbang? That shirt wasn't meant to be skin tight. Fashion statement, though far from Gucci. Of course you lost the fight. Even your name backwards says you are a pussy. Yes! Yes!
Say it again.
That shirt wasn't meant to be skin tight. Fashion statement, though far from Gucci. Of course you lost the fight. Even your name backwards says you are a pussy. You lack punches in the ring, and you lack punches as a battler. That lackluster memory's just as shit as your stamina. I'm just letting you know to get your head in the zone, because your obvious problem is prep, and it shows. Bobby came up today like, are you ready to go? And he went, ha 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 ha. Yeah, give me 4 hours to check what I wrote. Fuck that. You've had 2 months to set this in stone, and half of us still expect you to choke. Fuck up again and your career will never bounce back. At least the last time a Coopar died on stage, the crowd laughed. My prep game shits on yours, and you know that. I've done more clean rounds this year than my coach has.
Okay, I want to get something straight as well. What you do isn't really promo. You're not promoting an event if the people that interact were already going to attend. And even if you do sell tickets, the last thing battle rap needs is your odd friends. Palmer, I'm the weirdest guy in our friendship group, right? Let's not pretend. You look like in yours you don't even scratch the top 10. A bunch of sun-starved fucktards, dressed like they're trying to copy Neo. Catch them arguing on the door with Briggz like, why can't I get a +1 for my body pillow? Yes! Fuck this gimpy amateur. If I lose to you, Rick's getting twatted, I'ma nick the camera. I refuse to lose to a dude who greets his weeby mates like, Konnichiwa, lad, the only Japanese I know is Shinji Kagawa. Yes! And I've got nothing against hentai either. It just seems a bit like... We need to discuss it. I've got nothing against hentai either. It just seems like noncing repressed. He'll show me an image like, isn't she hot? And I'm like, no, she's obviously 10. He's like, she's not a child actually, she's a 9,500-year-old warrior princess. And of course that's her father. In their culture, the highest honor is incest. But all these anime babes aways, marriage ain't great. It's a struggle on your wife because she can't get wet when the only way you can fuck is wearing a VR headset. But if the marriage goes south, you all know me and the missus are always up to experiment. You know me and the missus are always up to experiment. You could be our sex pet. As long as you eat arse, then yes. Who here wants to see Ghast get pegged? No. Me? Don't worry, we're going to film it. He's running the promo. You're going to get that strap-on pan like a GoPro. I turned the promo king into the pro-go. This is my 3rd round against Grazza. You're going to choke loads. I will literally bum you. No homo. No homo. And quickly, he mentioned my boxing thing about all the tighter vest, and everyone thought it was a good line. You're all just jealous. This is what Pete Nailed.
So he's got more experience. I couldn't care less. I'm more well-rounded as a whole, and we all know this square peg. Let's put that angle to bed. You've got this far making yourself the punchline, and sooner or later that well will run dry. I can see the YouTube comments now. He's not a rapper. Where's O'Shea? Where's Lunacy? Like I'm to blame for the drop in standards. Like for years this scene's not been clogged up with shit like women in a yogurt advert. Fuck your self-deprecation. I came to Prem to be the centerpiece, to rep the league and stem the bleed, prevent the scene declining in followers. Fuck any whiners and politics, I'll go where Briggz needs me. Bust a shoot hill or train line to Victoria, to reach for new heights, start redefining what glory is. My one bar's worth 1,000, and I came to mash this square like Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
But you, it's just a little attention's all Ryan Cooper's after. There's nothing this shameless cunt won't say or do for laughter. It's all shufflo throwaways, but said with the swagger of matter when he was Luna's partner. You bite another goat, we'll have to call you Chupacabra. But you've got pegging and breastfeeding bars to stand out. And you say them with your chest, only to backpedal later in a Twitter thread like, haha, it's not real, it's just part of a scheme. I swear on my mum, my arsehole's pristine. Pro tip, that makes it less hard to believe. When people hear Coopar, they think loose arse. If that's what works for you, fine. But they'll be sick of the shtick and you in due time. I've already taken Coop Shine as the funny new guy. That's why he's extra bitter at the best on Twitter. Because I stand out with bars alone and you peg to differ.
I'd like to share a story if I may, and this is 100% true. It's a bit embellished, but you get the message. Before battling, James here dreamt of being an actor, but had to quit because you could never get the right parts, which is a shame. Which is a shame because I heard James here dreamt of being an actor, but had to quit because he could never get the right parts, which is a shame because, you know, with that head you'd be a shoo-in for the live-action remake of Minecraft. The point is, James quit, 100% true, because he kept getting typecast. Now, look at this figure. That's not in Baywatch as a lifeguard. No, get this. James quit because every director and prospective editor kept casting him as a serial killer or a sexual predator. Imagine him going up to them after like, oh, did I get the part? You know, the quirky white character who's a whiz in IT. It's like, no, you're the pervy guy who got caught sniffing the kids' bike seats. And also, I can see that you can see the serial killer in him, right? It's in those beady little eyes and your neat vibes. You look like instead of battling me, you'd rather slice me up and eat my thighs. You are not a threat to me, though. That's just stating facts. You're more of a threat to stray dogs and your neighbour's cats. He has a collection of bones. Who wants to bet I'm wrong? You look like you've never been to biology but still know how to dissect a frog. Time.
Academy 2022, Team Bizzo versus Cold J. We have just had a fire battle and we have a winner. The judges have spoken. Another 3-0. All judges voting in favour, going through to the quarterfinals. Ghast Buff!
Yes, Kiz again, Premier Battles, the last 16 at the Academy. We've just watched Ghast Buff versus Coopar, a real close battle. To be honest, it came down to the first round for me. I feel like Coopar wasn't as good in the first as he was in the second and third, and that's literally all it came down to. It was tight, so tight, but yeah, Ghast Buff's going through for me. That's my pick.
Yo, Brazza, just watched Coopar versus Ghast Buff. Both of these two were the best of the night, hands down so far. It's a shame someone's got to lose. For me, I had Ghast in the first. I feel like he had momentum straight away and it took Coopar a bit of time to get into it. I gave Coopar the second. I feel like he was so much funnier and more direct. I feel Ghast was coasting a bit. Cooper's vest thing was brilliant with the boxing shit. And then I feel like Ghast's third was very beatable. And then as soon as Coopar started getting into it with the frog dissection and stuff, he called time super early and it just wasn't enough. Like he was really in a jam, like he was getting into it and then he just called time like super early. It felt like the round was like 45 seconds long. and he just lost his momentum. Like he was building it up and it just went. So I give it 2-1 to Ghast. Yeah, it was a sick battle though. Both of them deserve to like. If we were picking teams, they'd have both gone through. Unfortunately, that's not the way it is in the last 16. So yeah, Ghast Buff, safe.
Yo, what's going on, Major Concerns? Shout out again, Premier Battles, for letting me judge. Just watched, for me personally, Battle of the Night so far. Ghast Buff versus Coopar, both fucking hilarious. Honestly, one of the funniest battles I've seen live. I'll keep it short. I gave it Ghast 2-1. I had Ghast Buff taking the first, Coopar taking the second. The idea to wear the fighting vest that he boxed in was fucking immense. That is a level of planning, bro, that not a lot of battlers think of. I think that was such a great rebuttal. For me, it came down to the third round. I feel like Ghast Buff's third round was fucking great, but it was definitely beatable. And then when I felt like Coopar was starting to pick up steam, he called time. Don't know if it was a choke or if he just decided to write a shorter third round, but it definitely felt short, and for me personally, Ghast Buff edged the third. So yeah, 2-1 to Ghast Buff, but definitely want to see Coopar again, man. Fucking dope battlers. Yeah, Major Concerns Premier Battles got Ghast Buff on that one.